Previously on the Frontier Farmer. Oh, there we go. The old girl has fired into life, but she's a running, so that's good. Right, so let's get her rolling and harvest these oats. There we go, that's the last slither harvested. We are going to look to create some sort of mill where we can turn these oats into flour. And here it is, the portrait. Right, so I'm going to get busy with this. Whew. And there we go. I have stacked them all on top. And we will keep it on the trailer because we do have a purpose for the straw. Whirling my way around this field, collecting up all the stones. Ta-da! All dusted with lime. Lifting up. And that is the whole field nicely cultivated. And there we go. Oh my goodness. Did you hear that? Sounded like a werewolf. Oh, Artemus, what's all that noise? Are you alright, boy? Good grief, that sounds like a wolf. Sounds like that wolf that we heard yesterday. Sounds like a werewolf. Is it a full moon? Crikey. Can probably smell us in the forest and it's come lurking. You better stay back. I'll get an axe from the cupboard. Stay away. Oh, sounds like it's gone, Artemus. But you better stay in here for the night, just to stay safe. Right, let's get to bed. We've got a long day in the morning. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Frontier Farmer at the Dark Forest. And the Dark Forest, it certainly is. We were being stalked by something last night that kept us awake, and to be honest I didn't really sleep very well after that, so we're up a little bit earlier, but Artemus has calmed down as well, so he's good to go back outside. So let's get to it, boy. We'll see you later on. Well done. Kept us safe, Artemus did. He's such a loyal boy. Right, so yeah, we've got quite a few things that we need to do today, and oh dear, I thought I heard some rumbling. Looks like that wolf has really made a mess. And are those my pallets of potatoes? Oh God, what's happened here? God, it's made a right mess. And tipped them all over. Luckily there's a few still in there. And oh God, there's one even on the roof. That wolf must have been quite big to be able to do that. Throw all this stuff around. My oh my. Well, I haven't got time this morning to be clearing up, so we'll have to leave that till the end of the day. Maybe Artemus can go and tidy up some of the potatoes and beets for us if you fancy a little snack, eh boy? Right, so yeah, last time we harvested our oats, so we really need to do something with those oats because they are in the trailer that we are going to need later on to harvest our sorghum, because that is now ready, and luckily it doesn't look like the wolf has damaged this, thankfully. Yeah, we only have one trailer, and it's currently got oats in, so we need to get those oats somewhere into storage so we can then put our sorghum in the trailer to empty out the harvester. We don't have a silo as yet to be able to place those oats, store those oats, but I have a cunning plan, and it's going to involve us clearing out some space because, as mentioned, we want to process those oats into flour so we can do something reasonable with them, and we are going to be placing a mill, and it's a windmill that's driven by the elements, obviously the wind blowing. So I think we need to place it on top of this hill here so it can catch the wind, because if it's too low down, the trees are going to stop any wind gusting through. So first thing is I'm going to set about cutting down some trees to make a path, and then I'll clear the top of the hill so we can place our mill. I'm going to cut down as few trees as possible, but yeah, I'm going to set about that. And we managed to find a trusty axe, so I'll use the axe to chop away these stumps, but for now I'll be using the old chainsaw to cut the trees down. So leave this with me and I'll see you when we're all finished. And there we go. That's the last 2 trees stored in our wood storage yard, and I've been using the very trusty skidder to winch those trees out of there. I did them in 2s because I was very conscious about dragging too many and possibly dragging them accidentally into our sorghum field, which is ready to harvest, so I don't want to be damaging that. And yeah, luckily this oat field, field number 1, has been harvested, so yeah, we were cutting the corner there a little bit and it didn't matter too much, and of course we had to avoid Barkamus. There we go, we have cleared out a little path and the top section of the hill. Now I need to probably just use the leveler on the skidder to create a bit of a path up there, and also to flatten out the top a little bit. So I'm going to lower this away and get cracking and make a little path, and I'll see you when we're finished. And there we are. So I think I have leveled off this area and cleared the grass and shrubs as much as possible. So I'm good to start constructing our mill. So I'll just back away from the point where we want to build it, and we can switch off the skidder and construct our lovely mill. And there it is. sitting proudly at the top of the hill. Now it might look a bit primitive, but this is a windmill, and this is going to convert our oats into flour. And I think we've got a little bin here where we can come and deposit what we need to. Fantastic. I'll close that up for now, and we will be bringing our oats over here. But before I do, there is one other thing that we want to construct, and that is going to be something that can manage our straw. So let's just head off, and it's going to be near where our commodity storage yard is. So this is the area where we are going to place the production that is going to manage straw for us. So I'll clear this area and then we can get it placed. So that area is all cleared now, and the grain mill, or the windmill that we placed, is this old grain mill from the old grain mills mod, and it was $20,000 in terms of cost and materials to us. But what we're going to be placing here is this old French dovecote, and that's going to cost us £10,000. But what's very interesting about it is it can convert straw into manure. So let's get this placed somewhere reasonable. And here it is, our dovecote. Now it's a very interesting building because it takes in the straw and it will convert it to manure, but it can also just store the straw as well. Now it's called a dovecote because it used to be used for birds to nest in, and hence the name dovecote. It used to have doves in it, but they would obviously nest in the straw, and I think the purpose of this building, from when I did a little bit of research, was for gathering eggs, but also for gathering the dung of birds, which I didn't really know the purpose of, but I guess that's why this building can convert straw to manure. And I guess it also could act as a bit of a composter to convert the straw into soil. So yeah, it's a very interesting building, and we're quite lucky to have it. So we need to get the skidder parked away, and then we can get loading our grain mill, our windmill, with oats, and then we can also get the straw into this dovecote. So we'll hop in the farmel, and we want to head round to the back of this shed, because the covered trailer, the grain trailer, is there with our oats. So we need to hitch up to that and go take that to our lovely windmill. So we can hitch up. We've got 3,406 litres of oats. Artemus is inspecting the new harvester. We will be using that very shortly to do the sorghum harvest. But for the meantime, we'll track up our wonderful new hill track to our windmill. And yeah, I like this. This looks pretty interesting. Hopefully the tractor can make it up here. Did my best to sort of smooth the terrain with the skidder, but I might have to do a little bit more smoothing yet. Right, so if we just park here, should be able to pop out and open this cover. And then if we hop back in the trailer, yeah, we should be able to unload our oats. Fantastic. Right, that's all unloaded, so let's see about getting this windmill in operation. There we go. Now this mill is very versatile because we can make flour out of wheat, barley, oats and sorghum, which is pretty good. The sorghum that we are going to be harvesting is going to go towards chicken feed, so yeah, we're not going to be making flour from that. But it also can convert sunflower, canola and olives into oil, which is really, really handy. And also it can make pig food from corn, sorghum and potatoes, where there's quite a few ingredients, and it looks like the recipe does change. We might have to look into that a bit more if we get some pigs. But for now, we can get our 3,405 litres of oats processing into flour. So let's activate that. Now, of course, this recipe is going to come at a cost of $25 per day just to keep it up and running. But it can process 1,000 cycles a month. And that's going to convert 15 oats into 19 flour. Nice. And look at that, our windmill is turning away. Luckily it's now caught the wind, and because we've activated it, they've unlocked the spinning mill part of it. So yeah, that's going to work away and grind our oats into flour. Fantastic, really do like that. So back down the hill, and we can park this trailer near the sorghum field, because we are going to need it there to unload the harvester as we are harvesting up the sorghum. And then I'm going to grab the bale trailer that's in the storage shed, and we can get all that straw into our dovecote. Now before I forget, I am just going to drop the capacity of our trailer from the maximum, which we have it at the moment, down to 8,200, just so it's a little bit lower, so the auger pipe from the harvester can actually reach over the top of it. Righty ho, so we can deposit our trailer here, and that's going to be well placed for us depositing our sorghum into. And I'm going to run and go and get the bale trailer so we can drop the conventional square straw bales into the dovecote. Here we go, we can hitch up, and we had good fun baling this and stacking it last time with our new Fortrit baler that bales these little conventional bales, and it did have a chute to stack all of the bales, but yeah, ideally you would have had someone stacking the bales as they got deposited, but we don't have anyone helping us out here, and Barkemus isn't well trained enough to stack bales yet. Maybe one day. But yep, let's get these bales all dropped off in this dovecote. I think it's around the other side where we drop them off. So I think we deposit them out the front, but they don't deposit from the trailer, so I'm going to have to leap on there and chuck them off into the zone. Let's get up there. Come on. Oh, and there we go. As soon as I pick them up and drop them off, they are going into the dovecote. Let me get these all unloaded. And the last one, off it goes. Fantastic. So let's have a little look at how this works. So the old French dovecote will take 1,000 litres of straw and convert it into 1,200 litres of manure. And that's going to do 12.5 cycles per month, cost us $2 per month. And yeah, we can get that processing. So we'll activate that. And lucky for us, this is going to convert our straw into a very useful natural fertiliser. Now, of course, we could just store the straw in here. So yeah, depending on our needs for straw, we don't need them at the moment, but we will certainly be needing some sort of manure because that will reduce our fertilising costs. Fantastic. So I'm really liking how these productions are going to add to the homestead. They're going to increase our self-sufficiency and also increase what we can create ourselves. So yeah, we can now create flour and we can now create natural fertiliser through manure. Fantastic. I'll stash the trailer back over here. Just need to close this up. Hitched back up to the grain trailer, and we can switch off and go and jump in the John Deere Lands harvester. Yeah, I think Barkemus is inspecting the new track. Yeah, he's got a new place to go and play. And here we are in the old John Deere Lands. So we can switch on. It's a bit of an old girl, but does a grand job of harvesting. Yeah, the John Deere likes to gargle into life. We've only got small fields at the moment, so this harvester is perfect for our operation, but hopefully at some point in the future there might be something bigger available once we've upped the size of our homestead. Of course, yeah, in terms of technology, this is all that's available to us at the time as well. Alright, so I'm going to just line up. This is exactly how we drilled the field, in this direction, so we'll harvest it in the same way. And we'll switch on, do a headland, and then we will switch to rows once we've got enough space either side. I'll probably do 2 headlands. So let's lower it away. Fantastic. Now there's not going to be any straw as byproduct from the sorghum, so it's one less job for us. But to be honest, the straw was very useful because that's given us some natural fertiliser now with the dovecote. Yeah, here we are, harvesting our sorghum. This is going to be our chicken feed, so at some point in the future we'll have to get a chicken pen set up and see about sourcing some chickens. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to see to this harvest, get this all done, and then after we are done we're going to be focusing on field number 3, the biggest field, and that is going to be in order to drill, I think, canola, but we shall see. Right, leave this with me, and I'll see you when we're all done.
To believe, hold me, lead me, catch me. Want you to dream, I want you to dream. I want you to dream.
And the last slither all harvested, so we can raise up. Wow, I absolutely love seeing all those pulleys turning and working away there. Fantastic. So we can shut off, and I did actually find a straw bale hidden in amongst the sorghum. So that must have cannoned itself over here from the baler last time without me noticing, so that's quite interesting. But let's head over here. The trailer has been at the perfect height for the auger pipe from this harvester, so that's pretty handy. And I wonder how much we've got in total. It's a bit higher than I was expecting in terms of yields and unloads. Yeah, I was unloading after each headland and after each few rows just to make sure we were going to make it around without filling up. Am I too far away? Just in range. Let's there we go, that's a bit better. So we'll get this all unloaded and see how much we've got. Right, that's all unloaded. Before we see how much we've got, we better park away the John Deere lands. Now it is getting a little bit dirty, so before winter I am going to have to see about getting a hose or something to clean the machines down, because harvesters is one of the things that get mothballed over winter, and we want to make sure it's not a absolute rust bucket come next year and caked in mud and other stuff. And of course we are going to have to get probably another tool shed like this, because the forage wagon is currently occupying this tool shed, and we do need to store the harvester somewhere where it's a bit more undercover. Very difficult to reverse this because there's a big block in the way. Exactly 50%, 4,165 litres. Now that's interesting because that is higher than our oats in field 1. So that either means that field 1 is a bit smaller, although they looked around the same size, or our sorghum has just yielded a lot better, which is interesting because I thought oats yielded higher than sorghum, but I might be wrong. Right, we want the cover on this, as we are going to be storing this, and I'm hoping next time that we will be able to get a chicken coop and some chickens, so the sorghum can go straight into there for feeding. But yeah, at some point we are going to have to get a farm silo, a grain silo, so we can store all of our produce and grain. Need to open the other door. Probably should have kept that open. Super duper. Right, next job we are straight on to is drilling, and it's going to be in our biggest field, field number 3. And in the future we are going to turn over field number 1 and 2, so where we had our oats and our sorghum, we are going to have to refresh those for the next crop. So that will involve cultivating, and it will also involve drilling and getting them all ready. But for now, we want to be grabbing this drill. There we go. And it's got full seed and full fertilizer, so that is perfect. And we'll head over to our third field and our biggest field. And this canola is the only crop that we can drill in August, but I'm also interested to see if we could probably sell some canola and also make some canola oil now, thanks to our windmill. If we look at the crop calendar, August we can drill canola, of course we can drill poplar, grass and Aussie radish, but not going to touch any of those. So canola it is, and then next month in September we are going to be turning over and refreshing field number 1 and 2, and then will be good to drill some wheat and barley, which can both contribute towards chicken feed, because we will need some into the next year, as I don't think that sorghum is going to last us the full year. Right, so I don't think we need to switch anything on this. We do need to lower it, and I think, yep, we are drilling canola. So I'm going to be skirting around the outside of this, and then once I've done some skirting headlands, I will break into the rows. Seems like we can operate quite fast with this drill, which is pretty handy. And it's one that is just run by the turning of the wheels. There's nothing attached to the PTO, so there's nothing that's turning and churning away. It's literally just driven by the wheels, so that makes it nice and simple for us to maintain. We are working our way through the seed and fertilizer. We should have enough to hopefully do the whole field, but if not, I will go and top up from our commodity storage yard, which is very useful. So let me get all this canola drilled, and I'll see you when we're finished. Okay, so that is our canola all drilled in there. A couple of little patches that I needed to go and tidy up. It's difficult when you're using older machinery. There's no modern GPS yet. We can't really do it any other way other than by eye. But we've done a fair old job and got all of our canola drilled in. Now we did use quite a bit of seed and half or thereabouts of fertilizer as well. But that field should be pretty much all fertilised apart from a couple of patches. Now one lesson I took from last time is that I do need to probably spray that field early on rather than leaving it too late where I'm going to then damage the crop. But there should only be a couple of little patches where the fertiliser needs topping up, because it received fertiliser from when we mowed the grass and from where we just drilled. So it's anywhere where there weren't any bits of grass that we sort of drilled into the ground when we ploughed it. Right, so I've got the roller because we're going to have to go and roll in the seeds that we've just put in. And we will need to roll it to make sure that the seeds are bedded in enough and have the best chance of germinating. So same again, but with the roller. And we can get started where we began our drilling, over here. So let's lower away, zip round and get this all rolled. Now it is a little bit tricky to see the rolling texture over the drilled texture, but I can just about make it out. So yeah, I'm going to get busy with this, and I'll see you when we're all finished. Well, that worked out pretty well in the end. Just a tiny little bit here that I need to go over on this return trip. Now it's fair to say this is very difficult to see as I turn this way. It's completely invisible as to where I need to roll. If I turn around this way, I can just about see in the light difference that I do need to roll this bit. So yeah, that is the last slither, but we'll roll all the way to the end of the row just so we're not leaving any tyre and track prints that we don't need to. Right, so let's get the roller parked away and then the seed drill in front of it. And the farm all parked up. Lovely job. Right, so it's been a busy one. We started off, well, first of all, finding a rather large mess from the wolf that's been around. I'm going to have to come and tidy that up. And then we set about clearing a nice little forest track up to the hilltop where we have placed a windmill. And we can see that spinning away, processing our oats into flour. Let's see how much flour we've made throughout the course of today. So looking in the bottom right menu, we can see that oats, we've only got 430 odd litres left, and it's made 3,764 litres of flour. So this really does work fast, which is pretty useful. So yeah, I think once that's run its course, we'll be able to turn it off and save some money. But fantastic, we got some flour that we can start to use. And our dovecote has been working away as well. So crikey, we have got 2,647 litres of manure already, and yeah, a fair amount of straw left over as well. Of course, it is processing as if one day is 1 month, so that's why the volumes are high. And of course, yeah, after we set about creating our dovecote and that, we harvested our sorghum. That's all stored nicely in the trailer, ready for us to use for chicken feed. And yeah, next time we're going to have to place a chicken pen somewhere. I'll have to make space for it. But yeah, I'm going to set about tidying all of this stuff up just after I've had a cup of tea. So that is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe. But yeah, until next time on The Frontier Farmer, we will see you then. Cheers all. Bye bye.